I am on the hunt for the best foundations for dry or mature skin. So today, I am kicking off a brand new series. I'll be swatching 4 popular picks side by side so you can really see the difference in the finish, the coverage, and how they wear. All before you spend a dime. I have done a ton of research, and I only picked foundations that had solid reviews and ones that I would actually wear myself. We're gonna be starting off with these 4. The NARS Light Reflecting, the Makeup By Mario SurrealSkin, the Dior Forever Skin Glow, and the Haus Triclone Foundation. We'll swatch them cheek by cheek and break it all down as we go. Finish, coverage, blendability, and how they sit on the skin. And just so you know, I have already wear tested all of them, so I will be sharing how they held up and whether or not I would recommend them. All right, we are gonna start off with swatching the Haus Labs next to the NARS Radiant Reflecting Foundation, mainly because I feel like they are a similar shade as well as kind of like a similar consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my tried and true. This is actually what I've been reaching for lately before I tested the new foundations. So this is the one I'm most familiar with. So we'll go ahead and start with this guy. This foundation retails for $54, and this is shade Santa Fe. This has a neutral and peach undertone. This is a makeup skincare hybrid formula. It has algae extract and Polynesian seawater. It's a medium buildable coverage with a natural radiant finish. I'm gonna start by warming up the foundation on the back of my hand. I feel like it just goes on so much more smoothly and you have a lot more control of how much coverage that you are putting on. I'm gonna buff it in. Since I've been doing this, I just feel like my foundation looks so much better. And I prefer using a nice airbrush foundation brush, and this is by It Cosmetics. I will link it. This seems to be my favorite out of all the ones, and I keep testing. All right, as you can see, it has a very nice, soft, radiant finish that's not too shiny. Lately, I've been noticing that my pores have been accentuated, so I feel like this one kind of does that. But recently I've come across a trick, and I'm gonna do this with all the foundations, is taking like a kind of a dense fluffy brush and blurring it in. And this is an empty brush, and it kind of helps diffuse the pores a little bit. I just don't know if I've just been a lot more critical of myself lately or if my pores all of a sudden just got way bigger. All right, so I really love the glowiness of the peachy undertone for my skin type. I do have a neutral skin tone, so I feel like it kind of just adds a little bit of a glow to my complexion. And I really like the amount of coverage it gives. It's definitely a nice medium coverage, which I'm sure that you can build up. All right, what are you thinking of this particular foundation? Like I said, it's been my go-to recently, so it'll be interesting to see on camera how the other ones look side by side. So on the other side, we're gonna be doing the Haus Labs. And then I'll tell you which one of these 2 I like better. But first, let's talk about it. It retails for $49. It's infused with 20+ skincare ingredients, including fermented arnica. It's a medium buildable coverage, and it is fragrance and talc free, which I really appreciate the fragrance free situation. This is shade 175 Light Neutral, and this also has peach undertones. And I've been wanting to try this for a really long time, and I have tested it a few times, and I have to tell you already, I really love this foundation, and I really love the concealer as well. So I kind of knew I was gonna like the foundation if I liked the concealer so much. All right, it already looks very pretty and glowy and radiant on the back of my hand. So that's always a good sign when you're testing foundations out. Now it's a little bit more cloud-like already, I can tell. I mean, actually, I don't know, it's very similar. I definitely feel like it's more pore blurring than this side. Very similar finish, very similar coverage, and very similar shade. I definitely love the neutral peachy undertones for my skin tone. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of diffuse it and blur it in. All right, how pretty is that? It's just very pretty. It's very cloud-like, has nice radiance without being too shiny. Both of them actually look very similar. I need an up close. All right, so yeah, I feel like this one, the Haus Labs, accentuated my pores less, or didn't accentuate my pores as much as the NARS did. So if I had to choose between the two so far, I really am liking the Haus Labs. And it's cheaper. It's $49 versus the NARS, which was $54. But it's very pretty, and I have to say, I can already tell you, I have been wearing the NARS for a while now, and I've worn the Haus Labs a handful of times, and they both wear and last about the same amount of time. These foundations are both foundations that I would repurchase again, but if I had to choose between the two of these, it would be the Haus Labs. By the way, if you like honest beauty breakdowns like this, do not forget to hit the subscribe button because I have more foundation reviews coming and you do not want to miss them. Next, we'll be testing side by side is the Dior Forever Skin Glow and the Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Foundation. Let's start off with Makeup by Mario. We'll leave the Dior for the last. So this is the Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Luminous Hydrating Foundation. It retails for $44. It's supposed to be a luminous medium coverage foundation that lasts up to 12 hours. It contains vegan squalene and grapeseed oil to hydrate and deliver all-day wear. I chose shade 3.5C, which is a shade light neutral. And I'm assuming that's probably because they didn't have a peachy undertone. I could be wrong. This is the one I most recently got, so I haven't had as much time with it as the others. So let's go ahead and blend it on the back of my hand. And you can definitely see already that it's missing that little peachy glow that I really like. And I feel like I could have gone for a shade darker, like at least a half a shade. But for those days when I'm really pale or mixing colors, should be fine. But the first time I used it, I did really like the way it went on. So let's see if I still have the same opinion. This one, I feel like also it's nice and radiant. It is a little bit more liquidy than the other ones, and it takes a little bit more blending in. Yes, you can see how I'm like going back in and blending and kind of wiping the excess and blending and wiping, and I added the same amount. But yes, I prefer a peachy undertone with a little bit more warmth. But that's my fault for choosing, you know, a more neutral shade, which blends perfectly good into my skin tone. All right, kind of want to buff it in a little bit more. Now I already kind of feel like it's kind of sitting on the top of my skin still. So I'm gonna kind of go back in and buff it in a little bit more. And maybe I need to do half a pump instead of a full pump on the back of my hand with this particular foundation. Okay, it is a very pretty, soft finish, nice and radiant without being too glowy. You know, of course it is accentuating my pores. I don't know, maybe my pores just got huge all of a sudden. Maybe they're worse on this side. But I'm gonna go ahead and buff it in with my buffing brush. which does help. You can see already that helped. A little trick, just like kind of poke out, use your tongue, I guess. And that kind of helps get the product into the pores, which helps blur them a little bit more. Okay, so it blended out really nice. The coverage is perfect. The radiance is very nice. I felt like it did take a little bit more finessing to blend it in. It's not my favorite so far out of the bunch, but it is still very pretty. And it can't really complain too much, but when you have some good contenders up sitting next to it, then you can be a little bit more picky. But I definitely feel like right here too, accentuating my pores. I mean, that helps. You know, and a setting powder too will help blur, but again, definitely, you know, it's hard these days to cover these pores. All right, what do you think of the Makeup by Mario? All right, let's move on to the Dior. Miss Dior. This is the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. It has an SPF of 15. It retails for $57, so it's the most expensive. Out of the bunch. It is supposed to be a 24-hour wear, radiant medium to full coverage, and it has highlighted ingredients of iris extract, hibiscus extract, and wild pansy extract. So this is shade 2WP, which is a warm peach undertone as well. Here we go. So I've already been testing this, we know this, and I'm gonna already tell you, I really do love this foundation. There are a few things that it could do without, but I will get into that. See, there goes that peachy. You can see how peachy it is. It's a lot thinner than the other ones already. And what I'm gonna tell you is the smell. It's not that it's a bad smell, it's a very pretty smell, but makeup brands leave out the scent. There are a lot of people out there with sensitive skin, like me, which is fine. It did not disrupt my, I didn't get a rash or anything, but I mean, just leave it out. It's not necessary. All right. I mean, it's a very strong smell. All right, look how pretty that is. Look how freaking pretty that is. Very, very lightweight compared to the rest. And it's said medium, yeah, it doesn't say medium full, it says medium. And it's medium light. But it is so freaking pretty. And when I first put this on, I was like, oh man, I've been missing out, because I really love the way, I mean, look how pretty satiny the finish is. And I want to say I went to go purchase this a while back, and when I read the reviews and people were talking about how strong the scent was, it threw me off. So I was like, it's just not worth it, but it really is. I'll get over the scent, because I mean, come on, this is so pretty. So, so pretty. Blends in great. Love the finish, love the coverage, love the fact, look, I mean, the pores, you can barely see them actually compared to all the other ones. And I haven't even used my little buffing brush yet. I mean, what is in it that's different? I wish I knew what is in it that makes your pores either stand out or not. But look how pretty that is. What do you think of it? What do you think of it? I mean, they're both very good quality foundations, but one I prefer over the other. What do you think? Am I crazy? Do you agree? All right, so I can't narrow it down just to one, but if I wanted something with a little bit more coverage, I'm going to be reaching for the Haus Labs. But if I wanted something with a little bit more natural coverage with a nice satin finish, I'm going to be reaching for the Dior. These two are definitely beautiful foundations, but I definitely prefer the other two if I had to choose. All right, that is a wrap on today's foundation test. Let me know which one that you think looked best and if you've actually tried any of these. And if there is a foundation that you want me to test, definitely drop it in the comments. I have more to come, so make sure that you're subscribed so you do not miss out on any of those videos. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.